Well, I think the old GoPro's telling me it's finally about her time. Had a video up for you guys yesterday. Didn't realize that there was half the audio cut out of it. No clue why. And then tried taking video of going and getting the drill out of the barn just now, and it kept shutting itself off. And I tried a different SD card earlier this morning from what I had yesterday, thinking, okay, maybe the SD card's taking a shit because it's been had video put on it and been erased so many times. Maybe it's just getting messed up in the head. And it kept shutting itself off, so I gave up on that, came back, put my old SD card in it. So we're going to see if this works. But I'm waiting on a text back from a buddy that's got a GoPro, because I want a mount like his. And I want to order it all at one time, and I'm going to get me a new Hero 7 Black coming today. So, because I want it before this weekend, because hopefully this weekend we're going to be doing some all-board plowing, and I want to get video of that, and I don't want this thing crapping out on me before that part, or before that point. So, anyway, getting the drill ready for wheat today. Yeah, that's all really all I got going on. Need to put the plates on the small side of the distributors and switch over to the big drive sprocket, and she'll be ready actually. Most drills of this era had two-sided distributors, one or a big side and a small side. This one is no different. As you can see, there's not really a whole lot of difference in the distributor wheel itself on either side, but as you can see, the hole on this side is bigger than the hole on this side. So this is for soybeans, edible beans, lentils, things like that. And this is for your small grains. And then obviously if you had or were gonna seed alfalfa or anything like that, you had your grass box, which on the 64 is mounted on the back, on the 38 is mounted on the front. But anyway, actually I got all the rest of these back here. And I need this guy, and I need my chain, and I don't use those are for beans. So obviously all you do is you take your plate and you put it over on the big side. Just like so. And get all that done. Gotta get my chain switched over. This is a lot easier when it's not actually on something. And naturally, you got no room to really swing at or swing at anything on here. Just had to get something solid to back it up, apparently. All I can say is they must have made this chain a lot better back in the day, because the new stuff comes apart a lot easier than that. It's more bendy. Anyway, comes out of there. And flip these sprockets, which I need another wrench for. And okay, I need a wrench and a ratchet. I'm trying to remember. Of course, we'll find out here in a second. These things fit a little goofier one way than the other. Yeah, I guess we're all right. And then I need to put my custom chain tensioner on here. Since the new chain is, I can't find a happy medium between one link and another. Where did I put the nut? I just had it in my hand. Where did I put the nut? You ever do that? If I can set something down. Right there. Go to set something down and then 2 seconds later you can't remember where you set it down. I do that a lot. So there's that. And then you just slam it back together. See? This shit, it doesn't really come apart by hand. You gotta get it started, but you can almost put it together and take it apart by hand. Except something does not seem right about all that. Thought I had to slide that up to tension it, but maybe I gotta slide it down to tension it. Well, that's not right neither. That ain't gonna be right because it's gonna rub on the frame. It's gotta go under and over. Oh wait, I hold on. There we go. Took me a second to remember exactly how I had that threaded through there. I thought I did something fancy and I forgot. I just went over both of them, and I had this one in the wrong hole. They're supposed to be in line, and originally I had this one down and this one up. Got her figured out though. Yeah. And for anybody that doesn't screw around with this type of chain too much, if you're ever working on this, when you put it on, or when you assemble it, the cutouts in the hooks on the links always go away from the face of the sprocket. That way, when it's working, there's no way to get the bar in line with the slit so that it can try to come apart. Obviously, you go over the tensioner, that's a little different deal, but it's not pulling. It's on the slack side, so it's a little different. On the tension side, you want it to be like this, that way shit doesn't happen. So anyway, with that, we should, this can go back in the toolbox, should be ready to go through and calibrate it, which I do not have time for today. We're going to do that tomorrow. So we will catch you guys tomorrow. Well, it's official. This will be the last video you see from the old Hero 3. I ordered me a new Hero 7 yesterday. Got the camera, got a magnetic base mount, 2 batteries, a charger, and an SD card for 350 bucks. I didn't figure that was bad. So, might have to, well, this might not be the last video. We might have to figure out something destructive to do to send this one out with a bang. I'd like to say I'd run it through a combine, but not that I care about destroying the camera. I don't know if you'd recover the SD card to get the video of what happened when I went through a combine. And there will be one more video because I have a partial video recorded of working on the 8700 that I did with this camera. And that one's probably going to end up being split between the first half being recorded with this and the second half being recorded with the new one. But the reason we're up here right now is I got to get a 5-gallon bucket of seed out of here so we can get the drill calibrated. Don't mind me. This is where I need the camera glasses back. That way I got my hand free. But that being said, why is there a soybean in my wheat? And that was a fucking swelled up soybean, son of a bitch. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. As far as cameras go, I really just wanted to be, I just want to be to the point where I got one camera that I do everything with, because I don't really necessarily want to have to carry around a bunch of shit. Every time I want to go make a video, like you got the guys that carry around the fucking tripod and the fucking selfie stick and all this bullshit. I got open station tractors, I got nowhere to carry all that. I want a camera, I want a mount, that's it. Keep it simple. Travel light. No, Cattywampus here. I learned with this thing that short tarps like this one are kind of a bitch. And by short, I mean lengthwise. They're kind of interesting. If you keep it rolled up or unrolled so it stays stretched out, it ain't that bad. But if you like the first year I had it, I stored it rolled. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. But anyway, we'll get this dumped in the drill and get set up to calibrate. Okay, so I got seed dumped here over the center runs, and I got me 4 collection bags on there, and I have about I have roughly enough seed to do 132 pounds an acre, with what I saved from this year and what I have left over from last year. So when I calibrated this thing last year, I was shooting for 90 pounds an acre, and with the 510 drill setting, it came out at 93 pounds an acre, and with what I used, it had to have been right dead nuts. So this time, I think that's going to be too high, so we'll try 512 and see where that gets us, because that's supposed to be 120. So we go 512. Yeah. Get off my finger. And start right on the edge of the driveway there. Like I've said before in previous videos, when you do this, you want to get as close to field speed as possible, because ground speed on an old drill like this does affect seeding rate, just because of the way it makes the seed flow through the meters. So start here and measure it off. "54 feet 8 inches. We got to remember that number. Okay, so just as a refresher for the other people that have not seen my other drill calibration videos, we'll ignore this part because we're not using it in this. Damn it. We're not using that top equation in this particular situation. So your equation to figure out, or to figure out your sow rate on a drill, is your row spacing times the number of rows you're collecting seed off of, divided by 12 to get feet, times the distance you drove, which will give you the square feet you theoretically sowed, divided by 43,560, which is the number of square feet in an acre, and then that gives you the number of acres you sowed theoretically. Then to figure out the pounds of seed you sown, you got to weigh it, which you need a gram scale, and that's the seed I collected. You take the grams of seed you collected divided by 454, which is the number of grams in a pound, which converts it to pounds. Divide that by the number of acres you've sown, and then that gives you the pounds per acre that you're putting out. Oops. So that's out of the way. I don't know why this stuff's blowing all over. It's not even breezy. So this drill uses 6.5 inch spacing. I was collecting off of 4 rows, so I was sowing a 26 inch wide swat. Divide that by 12, that gives me 2.17 feet. And then 54 feet 8 inches is going to be 54.67 feet, because 8 inches is 0.66666 of a foot. that gives you 118.63 square feet sown, divided by 43,560, means that I theoretically drilled 0.0027 acres. I collected 162 pounds of seed, divided by 454 gives me 0.3, it was actually 0.35, yada 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 yada, number this long, so 0.36 pounds of seed divided by 0.0027 acres, which when I did this calculation I just left the big long number in my calculator, so it came up more accurate. If you do this division, you get 133 pounds. If you do it with the actual number divided by this, it comes out to 132.15 pounds, which is pretty fucking good considering that's what I was shooting for. So what I'm gonna do is make this run one more time, do this calculation, see if I repeat that number, and if we do, that's the drill setting we're going with. Well, second pass, I ended up with 137.6. 5 pound average or 5 pound variance on a grain drill, not that bad at all. I definitely don't want to go up to the next setting higher, and I think the next setting down, oops, stay. The next setting down is 15 pounds lighter, so I don't think I want to do that either. So I think 512 is our number. So not bad. And that's also figuring high on the acres, because when I drilled it to beans, I got I got 38 point something odd acres when I drilled it to beans. So I'm figuring an acre high, and I might actually have more seed left over from last year. And the number that he texted, the number that the guy, I had this, obviously had this wheat cleaned and treated, and the guy that treated it texted me 4,960 pounds, and the weights on the mini bulks he sent me were closer to 5,000, so I have an extra 40 pounds of seed there. So yeah, and if you average these two together, it's 134 pounds an acre. Pretty damn close. If I run a little bit short, not that big of a deal. So anyway, I guess get all this cleaned up, and I'm even gonna have time to hopefully get this video edited and uploaded yet this morning, as long as there's fucking sound to it, because if there's not, that's gonna piss me off. But hopefully my new camera shows up tomorrow, because I got the 1-day shipping, and we'll be kosher after that. So anyhow, I guess that does it for this one, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.